Hello everyone, welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion Season 3. We have travelled from Brands Hatch in the UK and we are now at Watkins Glen, the Brands Hatch of the USA, and this is round 5 of the championship. My name is Gareth and joining me once again is Jools. Jools, how you doing?
Good, thanks Gareth. Yep, great to be here. The weather's much better here in America than it was over in Brands in the UK.
Indeed. And screen at the moment you can see some of the practice results then. David Lyme for stonkingly fast 1:44.865 topping the timesheets there, and the drivers are now headed out onto their qualifying runs. Let's take a look at the championships though. Drivers' Championship is currently being led by David Lyne, 78 points, and he's 5 points ahead of Mark Tranter, who is driving for the Kairos competition team. Gavin Kelly now third place in the championship, 2 points ahead of Miller, so it's all looking very tight there. And Highfield just behind them, and Josh can name it, actually doing incredibly well in P6 in the championship as well.
Yeah, it looks like there's a two-tier, doesn't it? There's like the Line and Tranter and then everybody else.
Yeah. I'd actually say more like a 3-tier personally, but yeah. And then the teams championships then, we got the A team also leading from Kairos competition. That's obviously Dave and Mark. So 78 to 73 still. Little and Large currently third place in the championship. Stupid Aguri are fourth, and Rumblebees just behind them. So it's looking quite good in the midfield of the teams championship at least. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I say the teams. It's just mainly being dominated by the one driver teams or the one scoring driver teams. But hopefully there'll be some more movement later on in the season as the teammates get some more points on the board.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, and we're looking at Rob Miller then going through T1 to start his lap. You can go very wide out there. Oh, so someone goes sideways into the concrete out there. Yes, you can run very wide out of T1, but you've got to be careful. There's a big nasty bump lurking just the inside of the curb, so you've got to be a little careful there. Jules, talk us through Watkins Glen then. It's an amazing old F1 track.
Yeah, very high speed. We're using the version that's got a bus stop chicane in it, which, I don't know, it's kind of nice not to have it because you go a bit further down the straight into the outer loop, which is a good overtaking opportunity because it's such a long stretch on full throttle after turn 1. But yeah, it's fast and flowing. Not really much use for the brakes here. There isn't many drastic stopping points.
No, true. And the slowest corners are on the track, all third gear, and that's one of them that Rob's just come out of now and just heading down. So this is the boot section, the newer section of the track. Let's say new, it's still quite old now. But he is now in the toe corner and then heading up. This is a really tricky corner coming up, this third to last corner. It's third gear, but you've got to be really careful on throttle application, haven't you, to avoid a spin up and into the wall.
Yeah, very easy to spin there. Just slight over application of power, or if it's slightly too early, and you just go round.
Yeah, and these final two corners, 6th gear for the first one and then this one in 5th gear, and then back out onto the main straight. As we say, very, very fast track.
Unless someone is going into the wall at the back there.
Yeah, that's the Rumblebees, isn't it? Is that Oliver Walker looks like?
It looked like the first corner claimed one of them and the last corner claimed the other.
And once again, the A team, one driver team again this week, as Gary Jones not with us, as neither is Stephen Batty from Stupid Aguri, as we're looking at Gavin Kelly from that team.
Yeah, I think Jones has become a Viking or something. He's traded games at the moment.
Yes, we need to lure him back in somehow. We're looking at Kelly then, who's currently third with a 146.1, as he's just been deposed by Garlic from the Williams team then, 145.9.
Yeah, Garlic and Kelly used to race this in an old F1 game, and actually Garlic was punted off the track over the barriers by one of our fellow racers, and he had to find a little bit of a hill and jump back over the barrier to get back into the race. It was quite amusing.
That's amazing. So we're looking at quite a gaggle here, charging down the hill into the heel corner, led by Naaman. There he is. And that's Walker from the Rumblebees and Larson from the Jägermeister team.
Yeah, I understand his teammates should be joining him next race, all going well.
Indeed, yeah, that's going to be good to see. Another driver on grid, the ledge coming back. So let's take a look at the order then, halfway through qualifying. Line currently on provisional pole, followed by Miller, Garlick, Kelly, Bibby, Dixon, Tranter and Highfield.
Looks like Kelly lost it because he's exiting the pits now.
Yeah. So Bibby up to third then. So this is looking very promising indeed for a nice battle for the pole position.
Yeah, both LB
Exciting
Racing drivers look to be on the pace this weekend.
Yes.
Looking at the practice times.
You see Tranter currently down in 9th place. That's he's looking a little off the pace this weekend, unfortunately. So hope it's just a one-off, and it'll be charging around on this next lap.
Yeah, only 10 drivers are currently set a time of the 14, I think, that are here. So a few people are struggling to get a time in.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
Kelly letting
lines.
line past there.
Yeah.
No point getting in the way if you're on an outlap.
Absolutely not. Crucial to let people through. You don't want to get protested and a possible penalty.
A penalty.
There is Bibby. A penalty.
Hmm.
That's the Australian penalty. And we've got Winslade then coming into boot. And who was that? That was an LB. Lost it on the outside.
I think it was Burnett, actually.
Oh, was
Because
it?
both LBs are still negotiating the track and he's in the pits. Yeah, I think I saw the glimpse of pink.
Ah, okay. That's your job. So here's Kelly coming up to complete another lap. There's one of the LBs behind him. Is that Bibby?
Yeah, and there's Dixon behind Bibby. I wonder if they're giving each other a bit of a tow, perhaps. Because as I say, from turn 1, it all the way up until the chicane is full throttle.
Yes, it's a crucial corner is turn 1 in terms of how much lap time you will lose down the back straight. Although it's important to note, obviously, that they do say that you obviously spend more time in slower corners than fast corners, so that's why they're more important to your lap time.
Of course, if you want to see how to do turn 1 properly, check out our hot lap that Mr. Line did on the channel.
Very true indeed, yes. Been quite a successful video, actually, nearly 150 views to date, so thank you for everyone who has watched it.
Yeah, hopefully it's helped some people find a bit of time.
Is that doing a bit of off-roading now? It looked like a rumblebee. Not long to go in qualifying now. David Lyon back up to the top from Rob Miller still. 2 tenths separating them. Bibby in third, Highfield fourth.
Yeah,
We're looking at
Trent,
Highfield.
he's still not found his time yet.
No.
And who's missing off the... I think it's Burnett. He hasn't actually set an actual time yet at all.
No.
So hopefully he'll be just starting that now, as it looks like he's just crossing the start-finish line.
Yep, you can see in there the pink circle of Burr. And was that line crashing and into the... So has Line got time to complete this lap and start a final run?
No, it's a fairly long lap, isn't it? I think he's probably a bit late. You're looking at 150, 145, 150 to get ready for your out lap. And
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make that, is he? There he is. And if he's only on the run to the chicane, there's no way he's going to make it.
no, maybe he's just doing a bit more, just to get in a bit more experience of the conditions.
Yeah. As Winslade completing another lap, stays 10th at the moment. 147.5 his best lap, so it's all about this last one.
Yeah. Now, if I was Lion, I would, if I've messed up and I don't have time for a quali, I would stick the race fuel and just go out and check how it's handling. Seeing as we've got the start coming up with the fat fuel.
Yes. He didn't hang about after his spin, though. He went straight back out again, so I think he's still on quali mode. Maybe he's trying to ram Miller. because that gap has closed now. Look, Miller less than a tenth behind line for pole, and Miller is on a lap.
Yeah, first sector good, second and third not his best, but let's see what the fourth and fifth come up as. There's certainly a bit of a gap between them, so these two are in a league of their own at the moment.
Yeah, and we're looking at Winslade and Walker coming down into the heel corner, and now on the run to toe.
Winslade giving him a toe into toe.
Yeah. They're saying that Miller are now in the pit lane. Checkered flag has flown. So the drivers coming up to finish their laps. This is Winslade and Walker still. They've got one corner to go. A little bit... Oh! Winslade into the wall on the final corner.
Whoops.
Yeah, that lap will not count, obviously. And Walker up to 11th place. And let's take a look at the grid then.
That's weird, yeah.
Yes,
because
that's confused
Robert
me.
Miller was second, wasn't he? And I think the timing must have messed up slightly there.
Yeah, so Rob Miller is on pole ahead of David Lyon. Adam Highfield from the Robin Bees up to third place on the grid. William Bibby is fourth, and Gavin Kelly fifth. Garlic is sixth. Namath is seventh. Dixon eighth. Richards is ninth. 10th is Burnett. Drivers on the grid then, lights revving up. And it's Walker is 11th, Larson 12th, 13th is only Tranter, so he's right down the back, and Winslade 14th. Lights red, lights green, we are racing then. It's a strong start from Miller. Winslade getting alongside Larson there at the back, but all important battle at the front then. Miller cleanly away and through turn one ahead of line. Bit of a gap back there to Bibby running wide on the exit of T1, but it's okay. And that's Kelly up to fourth ahead of him. Dixon down to fifth. Here they come then. Line attacking Miller on the outside on the drag to the bus stop. And I can see some action and carnage going on at the back there. We'll have to get a replay of that. See drivers challenging around on the order.
Absolutely, you can still see it going on in the background there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that's an absolute mess at the back there.
But Lyon's done what he needed to do and got past Miller into the bus stop.
Yeah, that could be a crucial move for the race then. But this is a track that's really good for overtaking. Lots of slipstream potential on these long straights. Here they come then through the heel corner. And this is Lyon ahead of Miller. And we're looking a bit further back at the two Williams. Nose to tail. Garlic ahead of Richards. Namath ahead of them in 7th place. So Dixon's had the best start then, he's up 3 places. Highfield's down 3 places, and Tranter's up 3 places as well.
Yeah, Highfield looked to get a lot of wheel spin off the start and just went sideways rather than forwards, which is not ideal.
No, quite tricky. If you light these tyres up though, you've really got to back it off to get it slowed down and control that wheel spin again, so I assume that's why he's lost those places. And we can see that Burnett and Walker both lost 3 places, and Walker in the pits,
yeah.
So...
And Hydefield's lost some more then in the last corner there.
Yeah, so what's happened there? He's now down to 9th place.
Yeah, he was going sideways.
Good spot. So Lyon completing first lap in the lead, ahead of Miller, ahead of Bibby. Look at the gap that these two have already pulled on Bibby, Kelly and Dixon then. It's already over a second in just one lap. And they're fighting again into the bus stop.
Yeah, Lyon forcing him to take the outside line, and Miller's just thinking better of it for now.
Yeah. Lyon and Miller just really seem to be on another plane compared to the rest of the drivers this weekend. And what's happening here then? That's Kelly's made a mistake. And Kelly's just lost out to Dixon then. Back in his 5th place starting position. Wow, so already we've got 2 massive talking points, so we need to get some replays off. So we haven't seen one of those big starting lap pileups for a long time, actually, in the LOA.
It's like Kelly just let Namath pass as well.
Yeah, so replay from the start then. We're on board with Oliver Walker. That's Tranter on our outside. Clips his front wheel, round he goes. And that picks up... Oh, that's Burnett as well. And Winslade then into Burnett.
Oh.
Ow. And then Walker creaming in us again. So, oh, what a shame. So here we can see from the overhead.
It's tiniest of taps.
Yeah, unfortunate there.
Oh, Will was unlucky there. The spinning Tranter collected him.
Yeah, and Winslade there just choosing the wrong side to try to fight his way through.
That was like someone on a street. It's like, you go one way, I go the other, and you both go the same way. Poor Gareth and Burnett there.
But massive props to Jason Larson there for threading the needle and getting through all of that, as we see Tranter coming into the pit lane.
He probably closed his eyes and prayed.
Larson is now running in 9th place, and this is a fantastic opportunity for him to finally get some points on the board. He was so close to it last time out at Brands Hatch, and we can see the Williams cars now. Richards is attacking Garlick as they come down this long back straight towards the bus stop. Nothing doing this lap though.
Yeah, we were rooting for Larson last race, weren't we? But unfortunately, the cruel drivers took away his position.
Yeah, he got sharked and by Dixon and Highfield and bumped back to 12th. Oh, so did you see there? That was Kelly cutting the bus stop, and he would have got a massive slowdown penalty.
Yeah, I should say so if he let both Dixon and Namath pass.
Yeah.
This is... Oh.
Well, that's Namath having a massive accident out of T1.
Well, I guess that means Kelly's got that place back.
Yeah. So he's been towed to the pits, and looking at the timing, so I'm assuming, we know Tranter's been through the pit lane, Winslade's been through the pit lane. Walker, is he back out on track? He is. Namath is in the pits at the moment, and Burnett's obviously been to the pit lane as well with his calamities on the opening lap.
Yeah,
we're on board with James Garlick looking back at his teammate. They're running 6th and 7th at the moment.
Yeah, the pits are running their pay today, I think, aren't they? The people in the pits.
Yeah, the old mechanics. And there's the two LB cars currently running 3rd and 4th. What a great opening stint they've had. See what they can do. I mean, this is on pace as well, though. These two guys are running exceptionally well this weekend.
Yeah, and there's a good rivalry between the two of them. Bit of banter back and forth. So expect this to be good.
Yeah. Always nice to see. And up ahead we can see the two race leaders then, Liner and Miller. Line already into the 145s. Miller just knocking on the door of 146.0, and then it's a 46.5 and a 46.3 for Bibby and Dixon respectively. Kelly's the only one who's got anywhere near that kind of pace.
Yeah, I imagine he's kicking himself for going wide there, because he was in that fight with these with the LB cars.
Yeah, although actually speaking of that, look, Highfield running 8th at the moment has done a 46.2 as well. So speaking of kicking himself, he must be furious that his race has gone this badly already. So, and he had that unfortunate run at Brands Hatch as well. So it's been a bit of a feature of Highfield's season so far. He's had quite a few misadventures, hasn't he? So he needs to get his season cleaned up and going better.
But look, a bit of a lock-up there from Bibby there, so that's given Dixon a chance to get a bit closer. Just a couple of tenths between them now.
Yeah. And look, we can see Highfield has just opposed Richards then, so he's got himself in between the two Williams cars.
Yeah, recovery starts here, I think, for Highfield.
Yes.
Look at those fastest laps at the top there.
Miller
Nothing
then
between them.
No. And both of them on a 145.7, but Miller's is the fastest and the fastest lap of the race so far. Here come the two LB drivers then up through the S's and onto this long back straight. Let's Dixon fancy a run.
He's a bit far back it looks like, but we'll see.
Wow, I wonder if this is the season starting here for these guys though. They've shown lots of pace throughout the season, but nothing like, podium running pace before. So this is very exciting, actually, and I feel like we could be seeing them getting further and further ahead as we go through the year. What's your view?
Yeah, well, Dixon got fourth, wasn't it, in round 2? So he was just off the podium, and Bibby got fifth, I think it was, last race in round 4 at Brands. So they're best of fourth and fifth so far. So podium is the next step up.
Yeah. Be nice to see him managing a win though as well. You think it's entirely possible?
Well, yeah. I mean, if Miller catches up with Lyon and they have a coming together, then this is going to be a 1-2 for LB.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think on pace though, these guys, if they continue with this march forward, then I think it's entirely possible that we could see an LB in the battle for the front for a win.
Absolutely. I'm just thinking in the present, because at the moment that pace on Miller and Lyon is scary fast.
Yeah. They're matching each other lap after lap, aren't they? 1:45.7's last lap, 1:46 is this lap.
Yeah.
You see the cars going around that bump I was talking about in the exit T1. We're on board with Dixon chasing his teammate, and he is right in the slipstream now.
Yeah, here's that big toe we were talking about.
Yeah. He's queued him up to the outside. Here we come to the bus stop then. That's Dixon on the outside and sweeps around his teammate, who takes a slightly cautious approach and lets him through. I think that's probably the wisest bet.
Yeah, nice. Well done. Around the outside, doing it the hard way.
Yeah, great move. And meanwhile, that's Garlic. Just caught his wheels on the grass there and slid wide.
Absolutely.
Which has let Highfield and Richards scamper through. Highfield's still 3 places down though, so he's looking to get back up to where Dixon is, who is currently up 5 places. What a storming race he's having. Dixon's previous best was third at Okayama in Season 2 in the Skip Barber, so he's currently matching that this time out, running 3rd place. A very different car.
Yeah, looking at fastest laps, he's currently got the 4th fastest lap as well, so his pace is right there. Only Highfield, Lyon and Miller are ahead of him.
And you have to say, actually, Dixon said before that this car suits him a lot better. We've said it before as well, that it seems to suit him a lot better, and I think he's proving that today. So here's David Lyon and Rob Miller still running 1 and 2.
Running that weird line that everybody does at T1, where you just go wide.
Yeah, you can still keep it within confines, especially if you're more used to other games where it's a penalty for running that wide. So it feels very unnatural going out there, doesn't it?
Yeah. As you say, I mean, your speed pushes you out there, and you don't get penalised.
Yeah, so Richards getting a run on Highfield as they come down to the bus stop. Highfield's gone defensive, and Richard stays behind him. And there's Kelly running ahead of them, still P5, but now 10 seconds off the lead, so having that slowdown penalty has really cost him dearly.
Yeah, it looks like he's running a very similar pace to Dixon and Bibby, which isn't going to close that gap, so he's a bit stuck in the middle at the moment on his own. Yes.
I'd say, it looks like a little bit that the two behind him are dragging themselves onto his gearbox as well, so we could be seeing a bit of action for 5th and to 7th shortly. And we're on board with Richards then. Look, he really does want to get past Highfield. He fancies a bit of that 6th place.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I found when you follow a car and you're not used to it, you want to just nip out just to check where your braking point is.
Oh dear, that's Highfield just getting it wrong on that ever such tricky final 3rd to last corner, and that's bent Richards' car in all sorts of horrible ways.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Innocent victim for Richards there, and obviously unfortunate that Highfield dropped it.
Yeah, and either in pitting? No, that's we're looking down on James Garlick, is now ahead of Adam Highfield, and he's stayed out, and looks like Richards just falling behind Larson then.
Richards has got to have lost a chunk of front downforce. Oh,
and he is in the
he's
pit lane. There you go. So it's just taken him that long to get through those 2 corners. So we can tell how much damage he must be carrying.
Yeah, there's so much high speed here that any loss of downforce is going to cost you big time.
Yes. And there was Mark Tranter going through, then up to P9. But most excitingly of all, Jason Larson is now running P8. This is awesome news for the Jägermeister driver from Washington State.
And he's got 10 seconds in hand over 9th place.
Yeah, just keep it on the road, Jason. This is exciting stuff for us. Always like to see a driver getting their first points. Like seeing them getting their first wins, their first podiums, but first points as well. That's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We just saw Oliver Walker there going through. He's having a bit of a horror race after that lap 1 incident.
Looks like Dixon's got the edge on Bibby here. Once he's got past, he's now consistently faster.
Yeah.
Just edging away a couple of tenths here and there.
Yes, and they are closing in on Oliver Walker ahead of them.
Who will be obliged to move over for them.
Yeah. There he goes. So, just take a run down the order then. David Lyon still leading from Rob Miller, Dixon running 3rd, and then we've got Bibby, Kelly, Garlick back up to 6th place after the coming together of Highfield, who's running in 7th, with Richards who's in 10th, and then we've got Jason Larson is running in P8, Mark Tranter is running P9, and then out of the points at the moment we've got Winslade, Burnett, Namath and Walker. All of them have had a crash, so we're now on board with Line, coming through what's called the inner loop, but we tend to refer to it as the bus stop, being Spa-Francorchamps Nutters, I guess. And
there's the Daytona bus stop as well, which is, looks the same, so it seems a bit of a weird name to call it the inner loop. It's the bus stop.
Well, it's because of the outer loop corner straight after it, but yes. And we are currently in the boot extension. This is the heel. And we've got toe ahead. Oh no, it's the other way around, isn't it? That's toe and then that's heel, because otherwise it just doesn't make any sense. It's a clown foot.
Yeah, Miller's happy to stay there within a second. Just wonder if he's going to make a move, or if he's just hanging on, or what's going on in his head. Obviously he had a disaster last week at Brands Hatch, so maybe that's in his mind.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? If you think this season so far, Miller had the Brands Hatch disaster, the Scuba disaster. We've got a replay of that's Mark Tranter in the Kairos getting it wrong at boot.
Having his own disaster there.
Yeah, that's a big one there. And obviously he's already visited the pit lane and used his quick repair, so he's going to be forced to run that damaged car, and we can see the results: understeering in big loop. And he's going to try and get back to the track. Yes. So he's presumably now, where is he? He's now in 10th still. So Richard's gone back up ahead of him. Yeah, Tranter's going to be forced to run the rest of this race with a very crippled car.
Yeah, it looked decidedly second hand after that impact.
Yes. But yeah, going back to the championship on the whole, so yeah, we can see Tranter now in the pits and presumably has retired from this race. There he is.
Yeah, looks like it's missing the nose there.
Yeah. So Miller's had the Scuba disaster as well as the Brands Hatch disaster. So he's had, and it's a best 9 out of 12 championship. So he's got one more he can afford to have a bad race, and then every other result is going to need to count.
Yeah, especially as Lyon has been so consistent so far. His worst result, was it 4th? Nürburgring.
Yeah. Oh. So yeah, he's and Tranter, you'd have to say, he's supposed to be he's a championship contender as well, obviously, and now sitting in retirement. Had a bit of a scruffy race at Scuba, but was still able to get onto the podium.
Yeah, he hadn't missed the podium yet, had he? So, so we're going to be a bit of a stretch this time, since he's retired.
Yes. And you see Burnett has now jumped Winslade, so no idea how that's happened yet, but he's now ahead of the ETM driver. Look at that, Highfield of 150 last lap, and that's Oliver Walker then off the road and in the pit lane again. That's going to be a lengthy one of his second repair.
Looks like Bibby's caught back up with Dixon.
Yes.
Dixon made a mistake, possibly.
So Watkins Glen starting to claim a few victims this time. Oh,
there's another one.
That is William Bibby dropping it at the boot. Gets it back going. He's got a bit of a crumpled rear wing.
Oh dear, yeah.
And that was Kelly scampering through then into 4th place. That is such a shame though, because these guys have been having a tremendous race for the front 2/3 of the race.
As you say, it's claiming another victim. It just does it all too easily here.
It really does. And we're now on board with Rob Miller.
He's a bit closer. He's halved the gap at least.
Yes.
I'm thinking maybe he's comfortable, and now he's thinking about going into the last third of the race. He needs to attack.
Yeah, it's the time to do it, really, isn't it? Talking of the little enlarged team, though, we haven't mentioned that Tony Hankins are with us this week.
That's right, he's missing this race.
Which is a shame, as is Gary Jones from the A-team ahead of us. Look at that then, Miller is right in the wheel tracks and closing on line ahead.
It's like he's lifted a bit, just isn't ready. He stopped gaining.
That's got to be one of the best places to do it though, surely, on the run to the bus stop. I mean, it's a savage corner to try and get through side by side, but
perhaps he felt that he wasn't close enough and he was going to get alongside at the wrong moment, maybe.
Indeed, yeah, and we saw an ETM there just pulled over to let these guys through, and you can see who's that ahead of us now.
It's the other ATM, I think.
It's the other ATM. So Winslade already out of the way. Namath's turn next.
Yeah, and then it will be Burnett.
Yeah, bit of a miserable race for the ETM then. Neither driver in the points at the moment. That'll be their first no scoring round if it finishes like this. Lovely smooth application of the throttle by Miller there as he comes out of that tricky third to last corner. Now he's got to think about where to get through Namath ahead of him. He just pulls smartly over to let him through. Replay of Winslade then into the bus stop. Just getting all kinds of wrong. And in the gravel trap. And there's Burnett going through, so that's why these two swap positions. And Winslade gets going again. And there's a replay then of Tranter's Kairos. Oof. And another collision with the wall. And
another for a good measure. And that's why his wing was missing. Okay.
That's a frustrated Tranter. And there's Bibby getting it wrong into the replay of what we saw earlier where he got wrong into boot. And Kelly scampering past. Very gratefully, no doubt.
Absolutely.
And this is what happened to Walker then. This is why he was in such a weird place when we saw him last. Just sliding wide.
Bit of a teleport though.
Yes.
Not sure what happened there though. That was weird.
Yeah, that was very strange.
It's like the Walliam scared it back into the barrier.
So we cut back to our battle for the leads then. And this straight, you can actually get a good move here as long as the driver is a little wide through that previous hairpin corner. So there's like 3 different good overtaking spots on this track, and then a few more Larry ones if you're Winslade and the Skippy.
Indeed, yes.
Side by side through the big loop is always quite amusing.
It would take
So-
some doing to get alongside line, I think. He's just relentless here at the moment.
He is, yeah. It's a track he knows, it's a track he likes, and that tends to mean it's a track he's going to be incredibly fast at. So the order remains then: Line from Miller, from Dixon, from Kelly, from Bibby, and then we've got Garlick running P6, Highfield 7th, Larson is still running P8, Richards back up to 9th following Tranter's retirement, Burnett now 10th and in the points, name it Winslade, Walker and Tranter. Tranter obviously has retired, and Walker 3 laps down following his accidents and misadventures, shall we say?
Yeah, so I guess he's having a bit of a repair too.
Yeah. We see the lap times, look at that. So Highfield only a 149, Larson a 148, so Highfield having another slow lap, but did he pit after that accident with Richards? I don't think he did, so he is dragging a damaged car around, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't recall seeing him in the pits.
No, so he's running, we assume Highfield running a damaged car, and a couple of seconds off the pace then. We saw a 150 earlier from him as well. I guess the question then is Larson going to catch him? Because he's only 5 seconds away, and there's only 6 minutes to go. Well, 6 minutes to go, so 5 seconds to find. That is very doable.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on that gap.
Yes. So other battles to look out for: Lyon and Miller still only half a second apart. That's probably the main one, apart from Highfield and Larson, looks like.
Yeah, if Miller can get a good exit here, he's close enough to have a go.
Yeah.
And that was a good exit.
That was a good exit, so here we go. Name it down in 11th. He's still running 146s as well compared to his teammate 52. So he's running a damaged car as well. Here we go then.
Here we go, it's on.
This was really on. Miller's gone to the inside. He's nosing ahead and has the line. Oh, a squeeze.
Very neatly done. Much preferred to go on the inside there. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful move from Miller then, who moves back into the lead of this race ahead of Line.
Look at the gap already.
Wow. So has Miller been saving his tyres then? Because the front tyres of these cars do tend to go off a little bit towards the end of these half-an-hour races, don't they?
Yeah, no, that has been found. As say, he's opened up almost a second. It's like he's surprised Line and then just pulled away.
Yeah, this is good stuff. And who's that ahead of them then? So that's Burnett, who will be the next to go a lap down.
But look at the gap back to third. Dixon he's been hammering along at a good pace, but they've still dropped him by over 10 seconds.
Yeah, but this is the difference then between having it for one lap and having it for a race. You know, I mean, the difference in their fastest lap is only 0.6, but these guys are absolutely relentless. And they'll just do it lap after lap after lap.
Yeah, Dixon was actually faster than Line that lap, but Line was getting overtaken, so...
Yeah. But then only a 147.2, 146.3 for Kelly, and he's only 4 seconds back now from Dixon. 3 minutes to go though, so you'd have to say it might be a bit difficult for him now to get on the back of Dixon and deprive him of that.
It's like he's a bit late getting to the race if you're starting to do good laps, so 3 minutes from the end.
Yeah, but look, he took nearly a second out of him in lap 15, look, so he's definitely, something's on. Name it back in the pits then. So he's presumably had another adventure, and he says he's now out of the race.
Yeah, he had that bad damage, didn't he, when he lost it early in the race, so that would have been his one fast repair, so if he's got any more, then it may have been too much.
Yes, so we go replay then and see just what caused his demise. There's Kelly. So the gap is... Oh, well, that's interesting, because I thought the gap was a lot closer before, but it's now saying it's 7 seconds.
Something doesn't look right on that car.
He must have gone into the wall.
Front
then.
left looks like it's bent outwards.
Oh, very good spot. And look at that, that's Bibby closing him down now. So Dixon now safe in his P3 as long as he doesn't crash it. And the final lap of the race, Miller has begun his final lap with Line just half a second behind him. And look, that's Kelly going into the pit lane. Bibby back up to 4th place then. This is last lap drama. And there's Line attacking Miller. Now what's happening? Line to the outside on the run to the bus stop. Burnett still keeping ahead of them. Line back through. Extraordinary stuff on the final lap of this race.
Yeah, I thought Miller had got it done and dusted there, but Line's come back at him for some reason.
Yeah. And suddenly the half a second gap's the other way. Burnett is going to get out of the way, presumably on the run to this next corner.
Hopefully.
No, he's not. Wow, Burnett is dicing with death here. Oh, there he goes. Leaves the gap now. You assume. Wow, this is extraordinary. So Line back into the lead of the race.
Yeah,
Miller's
presumably going to win now.
Yeah, Miller's struggling to get past Burnett.
You know, I think he's run out of fuel.
Yes. Can hear the engine bobbling away. It's struggling. That engine is starved. Oh, it's wiggling the wheel in frustration there. So, out of the final corner then, David Line wins his 3rd race of the season.
Can Miller...
3 out of 5.
Can he get across the line? Has he got the momentum?
Yeah. Look at the gap dropping to Dixon. No, he's over the line now, he's safe. Yeah. But here he is then, Paul Dixon for his 2nd podium in the limit of adhesion. Well done to him. William Bibby comes across for an amazing 3rd and 4th for Team LB. Garlic promoted to 5th place with Kelly's last lap drama, who now comes around the final corner to finish in P6. He's going to be feeling a little woeful after that.
Dixon's last lap was a 51, so I wonder if he had an accident or he also ran out of fuel, because he was only about 10 seconds back, so he, in theory, could have actually pipped Miller then.
Yeah.
Had it been not for that last lap.
No, Kelly just... Yeah, so this is Namath getting it wrong at the bus stop, and that'll be why he retired. This is Kelly then, and he gets it wrong out of big loop. Oh, very easy to understeer out of that corner, so... Yeah, so he knackers his wing there and then limps back to the pits to get... Presumably got a bit of steering damage going on there as well.
It looks like the suspension's gone, doesn't it?
Yeah. This is Larson and... Oh no! So that's Jason Larson into the back of Adam Highfield.
Yeah, I totally forgot we were supposed to be watching that gap.
Yeah. Well, the gap had disappeared and look, Larson with the bent rear wing. Wow, breathless end to the race there. Final classifications. David Line robs Rob Miller for the win of the race, and Rob running out of fuel in the final lap. Paul Dixon comes home for a 2nd career podium and P3. William Bibby, best result of the season for the Team LB, comes home in 4th. Garlic is in 5th, Kelly 6th, 7th for Highfield. Larson with his first points on the board comes home in 8th. 9th is Richards, Burnett in 10th, 11th is Winslade, and then retirements for Namath, Walker and Tranter.
Excellent haul of points there for the LB racing team.
Indeed. So let's take a look at the championship standings then, and we can see David Line now is a commanding lead in the championship, 30 points clear of Mark Tranter in 2nd. Rob Miller is in 3rd and moves up ahead of Gavin Kelly in 4th. Then we got Highfield, Dixon up to 6th after his great result, Garlic up 1 as well, Bibby up 1, Joska Namath falling down a little bit after his result, Richards 10th in the championship. Then we've got Hankin, Walker, Burnett, Winslade, Larson, Batty and Jones. Let's take a look at the teams. And again, we see that 30-point gap between Line and Tranter, between the A-Team and Kairos Competition. Little and Large are in 3rd place. LB Racing up to 4th now, and only 4 points behind Little and Large. So Miller's going to need Hankin to get back soon. And then we've got Stupid Gary, Rumblebees, Williams, ETM and Jägermeister with their first points on the board in 9th place.
Yeah, you got to say that LB aren't going to be in 4th for long if they keep scoring like that.
No, that was an amazing run. So, yeah, a few drivers desperately needed to come back to the series, such as Batty, Jones, and of course Hankin. Yeah. So, an amazing race. Next time out, we will be at Okayama in Japan, which is always a great track for Limit of Adhesion racing. And a reminder then, you can find us at limitofadhesion.com, Facebook Limit of Adhesion. Do like and subscribe the videos. Come say hi on our Discord. Jools, thanks so much once again for being with me.
Bye bye.
Cheers, guys.